Can HR overrule your manager? No. HR's job is not to manage managers or take ownership of their decisions. The job is to provide guidance, review whether decisions are fair, consistent, aligned with policy, and lawful. If something is wrong, HR should challenge it and evaluate it. But evaluating a decision is not the same as overruling it. Corporate HR may have the authority to stop or reverse a management level decision. I do, but even that authority has limits too. The real question is which level of HR you are dealing with, who owns the decision, and what authority the organization has given them. Let's break down who really has the authority. First, HR is a department. It's not a position sitting above every manager on the organizational chart. An HR coordinator, facility HR manager, corporate HR director can have completely different authority. The title alone does not answer the question. You have to know where the HR role sits in the organization, who it reports to, what decisions it has been authorized to make. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics describes HR managers as advising managers while also handling staffing issues and disciplinary procedures. The exact authority belongs to the specific role, not automatically everyone in HR. When people say HR overruled a manager, they may be describing three different functions. The first is guidance. HR reviews the facts, identifies fairness or consistency concerns, we've discussed this, and recommends what the manager should do. The manager still owns the decision. The second is escalation. If the manager will not follow the guidance, facility HR takes the issue to the administrator or to corporate HR. That is not an overrule. It puts the issue before someone who might have that authority. The third is formal authority. The organization has given a higher level HR role the ability to approve, reject, or change the decision. If a manager recommends termination and corporate HR says no, that is a genuine overrule. But guidance is not a veto. Escalation is not a reversal. An overrule happens only when the organization has given someone formal authority over that decision. This becomes much clearer when we compare facility level HR to something like corporate HR. In the structure I work in, a facility level HR cannot overrule a department manager. HR supports the manager and reviews the employment process, but it does not become the manager's manager. If a manager wants to issue a write-up, facility HR may explain that the documentation or policy does not support it, or that similar conduct was handled differently elsewhere, but facility HR cannot simply say, "You are not allowed to do this." Facility HR should say, "I do not recommend moving forward," explain why, and elevate the matter if the manager still intends to proceed. That does not make the facility HR powerless by any means. Its influence comes through accurate guidance and escalation, not by independently overruling the manager. In my corporate HR role, I can overrule a manager level decision within the areas assigned to me. If the facts do not support discipline, or the response is inconsistent with policy and practice, I can say, "We are not moving forward as presented." The manager still manages performance, behavior, scheduling, expectations, daily operations. It's just corporate HR is exercising authority only over the employment process assigned to it. But that authority has a limit. In healthcare facilities that I support, I cannot simply overrule the administrator. The administrator is responsible for managing the facility and is accountable to the governing body. Their name is literally on the wall. There are times when I tell an administrator, "It's your building, you can do what you want. I am strongly advising that you should not do this." Or depending on the situation, "It's your building, you can make the final decision, but I am strongly advising that you should take this action." That is not me washing my hands of the situation. It is me being clear about who owns the decision. I explain the facts, policy, consistency concerns, and risk. If the administrator chooses another path on a discretionary decision, the administrator owns that decision and its consequences. HR should not pretend to have authority it does not possess, but it also should not soften its recommendation until nobody can tell what HR is advising. A corporate HR overrule is usually less dramatic than people imagine. More often, a manager submits a termination request and HR says the documentation does not support the reason. Maybe comparable conduct reviewed lower discipline, or the manager skipped the investigation and treated an allegation like a proven fact. HR may say, "We are not terminating based on what we currently have. This needs to be investigated before any discipline is issued. The proposed action is not consistent with how we handle comparable cases." Or, "You are addressing a legitimate issue, but this is not the appropriate level of corrective action." That is corporate HR exercising assigned authority. It does not mean the manager's concern, it's not invalid. It means the organization should not take action the facts, the policy, or past practices can't support. Corporate HR should overrule in both directions. Sometimes it stops an unsupported termination. Other times it says a serious issue can no longer be handled through another informal conversation. Good HR is not automatically pro-employee or pro-manager. Good HR is pro-facts, pro-consistency, and pro-defensible decision-making. There is an important limit to the phrase, "it's your building." Not every disagreement is merely a discretionary management choice. If a proposed decision appears discriminatory, retaliatory, or otherwise unlawful, or if it creates a serious safety issue, resident care, wage, or compliance concern, HR should not simply provide advice and quietly step away. The EEOC says employers should respond to harassment complaints with a prompt, impartial, and thorough investigation when appropriate, and federal law prohibits retaliation for protected EEO activity. The National Labor Relations Board also protects many employees acting together regarding wages, hours, working conditions, even in a non-union workplace. In those situations, even if HR cannot personally reverse the decision, HR should escalate it to the appropriate corporate leader, the governing body, legal counsel, whatever it may be. Lacking final authority does not relieve HR of the responsibility to identify and escalate a serious risk. For employees, going to your facility HR does not transfer your manager's decision to HR. HR may review whether the manager followed policy, whether the facts support the decision, and whether things were handled consistently, but HR may not own the final outcome. That does not make speaking to HR pointless. Facility HR can identify concerns, advise the manager, and elevate the matter to someone with greater authority. Not receiving the outcome you requested also does not prove that HR did nothing. HR may be limited in what it can disclose about an investigation or an action involving another employee. Managers should not treat facility HR like a rubber stamp simply because HR cannot independently overrule them. If you have already decided what you want to do and you contact HR only to approve the paperwork, you are involving HR too late. Bring HR the facts, not just the conclusion. Explain what happened, what expectations were communicated, and what outcome you are considering. Be prepared for HR to challenge your reasoning. That's their job. If you choose to proceed against strong HR guidance, understand that HR may elevate the decision. And when the decision remains yours, own that choice. Do not later tell the employee, HR made me do it, or blame HR when the risk HR identified becomes very real. So, can HR actually overrule your manager? In the structure I work with, facility HR cannot independently overrule a manager. Its job is to guide, review for fairness and compliance, and escalate as need be. Corporate HR can overrule manager-level decisions when granted that authority. In my case, I can overrule a manager, but I cannot simply overrule the administrator, the one with their name on the wall. HR's responsibility is not to win a power struggle. It is to keep employment decisions fair, consistent, defensible, and lawful, and elevate them when they are not. Sometimes HR provides guidance, sometimes HR escalates, and at the appropriate level, sometimes HR makes the decision. HR cannot overrule the organizational chart, and good HR will make sure no leader can honestly say that they did not understand the consequences of their decision. Well, that's the HR insight for today. If you found this useful, stick around. I'll see you in the next one.